Hello everyone, it is I, the Flame King, and we are not playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet today. Why? Because I'm lame. Instead, we're looking at the website. I wanted to give, before Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out, my opinions on every single Pokemon that is new to the region. I'm not going to go over like almost 1,000 of them, but we're going to look at the ones they've revealed for the region. And I want to give my opinions. So, if you like the video if you like it. I do not know how to do the algorithmic stuff, but that's okay, because that's not what we're here for. Please subscribe and like too, anyways. We are here for Pokemon. Now, here are the three starters, and I guess this is a bit of a chance for me to explain the starters I typically go with. So we have here Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley, and the way I typically go about picking my starter, I hear some wait till they see the final forms. Typically, sometimes it's just something that naturally happens because they can't decide. No one ever picks based on the middle stages. Like, I feel bad, kinda, for them. But the way I typically go, I try and put myself in the shoes that they want me to be in. They're like, oh, you are a 10-year-old who is picking your very first Pokemon ever. So when I was 10, that opportunity was presented to me, what would I do? And so typically when I see the starters, I tell myself, you do not know what they evolve into. Especially in this case, because we don't know what they evolve into. But all you know is what's in front of you. So I typically pick based on which one I think would most likely be my friend. And honestly, typically when I go that route, the Pokemon that I end up picking, that's like my main go-to starter of the region for like ever and ever. I always go with Squirtle. I always go with Scorbunny. And the one that's going to be for Paldea is going to be Sprigatito. And I don't know. I just liked all three of them, and I literally made that decision back when we first learned anything about Scarlet and Violet, and literally all we knew about these three is what we're looking at right now. And I decided to go Sprigatito. I felt like I'd most likely become best friends with Sprigatito. Not that I couldn't with the other two, but that was just my go-to. That after thinking about it, it's like that's the one I would go with. I'm going to be honest, after I saw them in the overworld, like in gameplay, part of me was like, but Quaxley. But I know, no Fuecoco. I'm sorry. I like Fuecoco. It's cool design, and you can tell there's lots of good references, but it's just too chibi for me. I don't know, I can't get behind Fuecoco. I'm sorry, but I love all three of them. I love what they represent, but I hate the fact that this is we only had one generation in between a second generation where the starters were a cat and a bird. Literally, Alola had Litten and Rowlet, cat and bird, and now we have Sprigatito and Quaxley. 2 generations later, cat and bird. On top of that, this is the second bird starter we've had, and Fuecoco doesn't get out of this because we've had Totodile. And so it really doesn't feel like they have too much of their obviously they're different enough from the three we just mentioned. Not three, I'm certain I mentioned more, but at the same time, it's kind of lackluster that why couldn't we get something entirely new? I don't know. Moving on. I honestly don't have too much of opinions about Koraidon and Miraidon. I feel like most of my opinions about them will come once I play the game. Especially because it mainly comes from I don't know how I feel about it. It's implied that you get these two very early on. And I originally had a theory about it. I'm not entirely sure how accurate it is, but I still stand by a certain part of it. I'll explain it later. But I'll also use this as a chance to explain which version I'm going to get and how I typically choose. I never choose which version of the game I get based on the starter. Not starter. I never pick based on the legendary, the mascot, the Pokemon that's on the box with it. I pick based on the name of the logo. So like Pokemon Red and Blue, my favorite color is blue, so I went Pokemon Blue. Using that logic, you might think Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Shield. Well, Pokemon Sword is the blue colored Pokemon game. That's the one he'd go with. I went with Shield for two reasons. Mainly, I feel like not in Pokemon. Like my Pokemon strategy, I really only focus on attacking. Like that's it. Rarely ever do I use moves that don't attack. Lately, I've gotten a little bit better at that, but only like minuscule. But when it comes to like doing sporty things with people, like I love playing ultimate frisbee with friends. I love playing basketball with friends. I love doing capture the flag with friends. I'm always on defense. I am best at defense. And so I felt like between the two, I prefer to go with Shield. And then on top of that, Captain America is like my favorite superhero. You gotta respect the Shield. And so that's how I always go pick based on the name. Between Scarlet and Violet, I'm more of a Violet guy. Now, I don't know between Koraidon and Miraidon more specifically which one I'd prefer. And I think that's mainly because of how like similar they are. And I really don't like that they've been starting to do that. Like that's a new trend with Pokemon. These two are very similar to each other. The legendaries from Galar, Zacian, and Zamazenta, like they're very similar to each other. Solgaleo and Lunala aren't. Until you realize the fact that they evolve from the same Pokemon. So it's like, what kind of society are we living in? And so, I don't know. But I guess my true opinions are going to come from them again as I play through the game. Now, Armor Rouge, and I'm going to skip over Belly Bolt here. I want to talk about these two because like they're version exclusives. I'm sometimes not entirely sure which of the two I prefer. I slightly lean towards Cerulege though, just because like the awesome glowy spirit swords kind of thing, and it's awesome. And I like their typings because like they're typings that have rarely been used. I believe like Fire Psychic for Armor Rouge and Fire Ghost for Cerulege. And especially with Fire Ghost, recently I've really come to like Chandelure, mainly because like Chandelure, if I remember correctly, like it's my like number one strongest Pokemon in Pokemon Go. So I've really come to love Chandelure a lot. These two are cool. Bellabolt. I think it's fun. I It's kind of off-putting for like the bumps to not be its eyes, and it's kind of got the same derpy face that they did that just for memes. And I don't know how I feel about that. But super cute. I love it's electric type. It's a frog. I love frogs. Not much else to say. Titan is unique. It's the second whale Pokemon they've ever done. Third if you count the legendary Kyogre. But it's a land whale. And it's ice type. And honestly, I feel like, and this is also, I want to make predictions based on evolutions as well. I feel like these are going to get two more evolutions. Like, come on. I don't think these two are going to get pre-evolutions. I don't think they're going to evolve. Bellibolt might get a pre-evolution. I feel like Bellibolt is like the Dreadnought. Maybe. So Titan, I think it could go either way. It could either stay as that, or it could get a pre-evolution. I feel like it could go either way. But then Cyclizar, this is where my theory comes in. First of all, if either Smash Ultimate was still going or a new Smash Bros. Game came out before Gen 9 was done, I feel like Cyclizar should be the main pick. Especially because of my next theory, I think that Cyclizar for certain is going to evolve into the legendary. Sun and Moon has shown us that they're not afraid to do that. It's obvious there's some kind of similarity between them, so we know something is up. And originally, like when they first revealed Cyclizar, they said there's going to be 3 different stories you could take on, and I was like, we only knew about the gym challenge. We didn't know anything about the other 2. We do now, but back then, I was like, easily the one of the main stories could be you get a Cyclizar, and you like go through some kind of special quest to get it to become one of these 2. There's a chance they could still do that, but no, I don't know. I don't. Reminds me of a time where like Smash Ultimate was on the horizon, and Sakurai was like, "There's only gonna be 103 stages in the game," and everyone's like, "Oh, he's laying for the suspense," and like, no, they don't do that. He didn't do that, and like, I don't know. They said there's gonna be 3. They revealed what the 3 stories are. Cyclizar evolving into. I don't think that's gonna be a main story unless it's tied more specifically in with Team Star. Who I want to save this for when I'm playing it, but I'll say it now. I don't like Team Star. I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. Farigiraf. Farigiraf is the only Pokemon we currently know its evolutionary status of. That's exciting, especially because I have always thought Girafarig needed something more. Like, it did not feel like a single stage Pokemon. It felt like it was a Pokemon that could evolve, or Mega Evolve, or just get some kind of boost, like Farfetch'd situation, Surfetch'd. Like, Girafarig needed something, and I'm glad they gave it to it. Even though this isn't the best fitting region, I don't know, like maybe Loxton made some video I haven't seen, or maybe Will. I don't think Loxton's made a Farigiraf video yet. That might just be dumb. Fido, I really don't have any feelings or opinions on Fido. I think it's going to evolve. I think based on trends, it's only going to evolve once, though. They could prove me wrong. I mean, there was Lillipup evolving Stoutland, Herdier and Stoutland. So Fido might evolve twice, but I really think it's only going to evolve once. Grafaiai. First and foremost, if Ash is in the Scarlet and Violet anime as a main character, I feel like he's gonna get Grafaiai. That, yeah, I feel like he's gonna get. It feels like something Ash would get. I don't know why. I feel like I'm the only person that feels or thinks that, but I feel like they could do something extremely interesting there. But then again, there's been like previous series where it's like, oh, this Pokemon seems extremely well fitted for Ash. He's definitely going to use it, and like that didn't happen. So I've had predictions like this about Pokemon in previous generations that didn't happen. But I'm going to stick to my guns. I feel like Grafaiai is a Pokemon Ash is going to get. I think it's going to evolve once, but only once. Greavard. I love Greavard so much. Like Fido's just kind of like, yeah, it's a dog, and it's like it's kind of cute that it's doe, I guess. But like Greavard is like something. I don't know. It kind of exudes this coolness while still having like that cute, like energetic energy about it, and it ties in well. Like I love Loxton's video about Greavard. I know I'm talking about a lot about Loxton, but like, man, Greavard's cool. I think here's the here's the thing I'm now going to tie into. Fido evolves once. Greavard is going to evolve twice. I know, bold prediction, but that's where I'm leaning into, and I can't wait to see exactly what Greavard's evolution is. And I think easily it could lean in a direction where we'll talk a little more about this later with Wigglet and its confirmation of um, convergent evolution, I think it is. I'm not too well versed on how actual evolution IRL works, I regret to say. But since we know that's going to be in the game, I feel like Greavard could, while still definitely being a puppy, it could take on some Chandelure vibes. Like, take some hints and cues from that. Even though it's obvious that they didn't start at the same place, they evolved over time to be in a similar situation. And if they do that, Greavard is easily going to be one of my top favorite ghost types. Especially if they make him either ghost fire or ghost ground or something. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of room they could go for with Greavard. I'm excited to see what it is. Cloth, I don't have too many feelings or opinions on Cloth. I feel like because like Cloth is a Titan, I feel like it's not going to evolve. Like they probably could be like that doesn't matter. At the same time, Cloth doesn't seem like the kind of Pokemon that needs a pre-evolution. I so I really don't know how where I feel I'm at with Cloth. But ignoring predictions on the evolution, Cloth is cool. That's really all I got. Like I have more stronger positive opinions for Cloth than I do for Fido. But like none of them are too strong. Not because I have negative thoughts or feelings or opinions about them, but like they're kind of just there. Lechonk on the team. There's no way he's not going to be on the team. I'm also predicting he's going to evolve once. He's either going to be normal ground or normal fighting. I've heard some say normal grass, but like Smoliv. Maybe normal fair. I don't know. He's going to be normal ground or normal fighting. That's my prediction, and it's only going to evolve once. But Lechonk is definitely going to be on my team. I don't think like I don't think Lechonk is going to be the Rattata of the region. It's going to be the Wooloo, which I've seen people say Wooloo is the Rattata of Galar. To which I say no. Do you not know how that works? Like there's even like Squovet next to Wooloo. Like Wooloo is a barnyard animal. Lechonk is a barnyard animal. They're not rodents or pests. They're cute though. But I love Lechonk leagues more than I ever cared about Wooloo. And I cannot wait to use Lechonk. Like I'm gonna go so hard to try and make him like my first capture of my playthrough. Which I'll talk about that in a sec too. Paldean Wooper. First of all, I love it. Super cool typing. I can't wait to use Paldean Wooper as well. I wish they could have revealed a few more regional variants prior to the game. Because I feel like those are like that's part of like the marketability of Pokemon. But no, they didn't do it. Here's the thing. It's obviously going to evolve. Because like previous Wooper did, there's no way Paldean Wooper isn't. The question up in the air is it going to be Paldean Quagsire? Or is it going to be a regional variant? No, not regional variant. Is it going to be Paldean Quagsire or is it going to be a new evolution? That's what I meant to say. And I feel like it's going to be Paldean Quagsire. Mainly because just looking back at the previous generation and looking at how they treated Surfetched compared to Galarian Rapidash. They didn't start with Galarian Farfetch'd. They started with Surfetched because like new evolution is more marketable than regional variant. But they didn't start with Galarian Rapidash. They started with Galarian Ponyta because that's the base form. And so I feel like that based on just trends I've seen with Pokemon, and I'm certain if some of you look back on it, you'll be like, yeah, he's kind of right. But like, just basically based on like what Sword and Shield seemed to set up, I feel like if Paldean Wooper evolved into a brand new Pokemon, they would have shown us that instead. And some of you may be thinking, if they did that, then they would have revealed no regional variants prior to the game. But like, there's obviously going to be other regional variants. They could have just picked any of those other ones then, and they would have gotten the same thing across. I feel like if Wooper had a new evolution, we would have known about it already, and we don't. Given that's me not looking at leaks or knowing anyone who is lucky enough to get the game early because Nintendo loves them more and they're more of a human being than me. But that, based on what I know, that's my prediction. It's going to be Quagsire. There's not going to be an additional evolution. It's strange. They really haven't revealed that at all about any of these. Like, for all we know, only older Pokemon get evolutions. I don't know. Palmy. Palmy is interesting. Because, like, Palmy is obviously the Pikachu clone, but it's the first one since Generation 5. Wow, that goes back further than I thought. But Palmy is the first Pikachu clone since Unova to be pure electric type. And part of me feels like, and it's a very small part of me feels like they're going to do something with that. And that part of me says there's a chance he's going to evolve. I don't want to put all my hopes on the line, because like there's very high chance it won't. I mean, none of the others do. We're thankful Pikachu does, but like, part of me feels like there is still that chance Palmy will evolve. But I'm not going to put all my quarters in. Small lift. I didn't mean to do that. First of all, amazing design. Beautiful. Second of all, I feel like it's going to evolve 3 times. Not 3 times. It's going to evolve twice. From Smoliv into its next stage, and then to its next stage. And I feel like the middle stage is going to still be... I don't know if it's normal grass or grass normal, but who cares? And then the final evolution either will continue to be normal grass, or I think it'll become fighting grass. I don't know how many of you also see M&J TV. Probably do, because he's a lot more popular and iconic than I am. I loved his Brawliv concept. I feel like if they put something in between it, like, that would be perfect. Then Wigglet. Unpopular opinion, I don't care much about Wigglet. Thumbnail's going to make everyone think otherwise, because, like, he loops around and everywhere. I don't know how crazy it's going to be. But it's like, whoa, this guy made Wigglet look cool. I really don't care much about him. Like, the only purpose Wigglet serves is A, confirming that we have convergent evolution that's going to be in this game, and B, memes. Like, what else is he here for? And he really, like, he's even just a pure water type, and his design doesn't even do much too. They could have had like black spots and be like, okay, and he just happens to have a Diglett face, but no, it's literally just long Wigglet, and I don't like that. Like, I wish they could have done more better for like the first confirmed convergent evolution Pokemon. And in general, Wigglet could have had a little more put into it, because like it's based on garden eels. No, based on what I know, no garden eel is just plain white. I've always seen them with like spots and stripes and different things. Now, some of you might think that's the end of the video. Oh no, we got a surprise for those of you who stuck to the end. I probably should have talked about it for viewer, whatever the word is. But we have this screenshot from one of the trailers where they accidentally showed this on display. 3 Pokemon we know absolutely nothing about that I want to talk about real quick. First of all, for this first one, obviously we don't have a name. I feel like it's going to be pure normal type. And that's going to be the Rattata of the region. And it's going to evolve once. And it's going to be pretty cool. Well, I don't know about how... Like the design's kind of bland, but then again, we can't see all of Rookidee, so maybe that's kind of how Pokemon will be. But at the same time, like, it still has all of that we can see. I don't know. But then here's another bird. It's a parrot. I can. Okay, I'm going to predict it's going to evolve at least once, and that it's going to be pirate themed. Now, a lot of people have been saying that about Quaxley, but like parrots are more commonly associated with pirates. If they have the parrot in the game, why would they not make that the pirate, but instead make the duck? Doesn't make sense to me. Now, as for what type it is, because like I predicted this is normal type, so I guess I'm going all in with making predictions. It's obviously going to be flying type. I don't know if I want to predict if it's going to be pure. Oh wait, no, we don't know what. We don't know what the regional bird is yet. I just realized. Wait. Yeah, they haven't shown anything about the regional bird. Pure flying. Gains a type upon its final evolution. What type will that be, though? I don't know. I'm only looking at its base form. But if it is a pirate, my guesses would be water, fighting, or dark. I hope they wouldn't go steel again. And then there's this little, like, Minecraft poison mushroom. That's the best way of explaining it. Because, like, it reminds me of, like, a fusion between, like, the mushrooms in Minecraft that, like, don't mean, like, you eat them, put them in mushroom soup. And then the poison mushroom from Mario Maker. That's what this reminds me of. And it's all blocky. And it's like so cool. And I love mushrooms in real life. They're some of my favorite things to eat. And to get another mushroom is pretty cool. Grass rock or pure rock is going to be my guess and prediction. And I think it's going to evolve twice. So yeah, there's all of my predictions. There's all of my predictions. What did you guys think? Are you excited to see Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? Let me know down below. I do have some depressing news. I will not be able to get Violet day of because I'm a poor college student and another open world game comes out around that time that I want to play. I'll be streaming that. But like I had to pick between the two. It's Sonic Frontiers. I'll come out and say that. And Sonic Frontiers, I've had nothing Sonic wise to do since Forces. I mean, Team Sonic, I've loved Team Sonic Racing. Like, unpopular opinion. But, like, I've had nothing Sonic wise. Meanwhile, Scarlet and Violet, not Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon in general, I went on a bit of a hiatus for a little bit. As you guys noticed, there's a gap between my What If Pokemon Z video and whatever was before that. I can't remember. I think it was like just Let's Play of Mario 64. There's like 2 year gap. And I was serving my church for that time. And during that time, like I didn't play video games at all because that was part of the call. And so I didn't play Sword or Shield, didn't play BDSP, and Legends Arceus came out not too long after I came back. And so the current state I'm in, I'm trying to complete a Pokemon Shield, that's the one I went with, and Legends Arceus. I'm trying to complete both of them before I complete before I even start on Pokemon Violet. And so that postponement just like opens the gate. The only chance I really have right now for getting Violet is getting it for Christmas. So expect a Scarlet and Violet playthrough this Christmas. My Christmas gift to you guys. Love you all and thank you for watching today. Remember to like and subscribe and all the other stuff YouTube likes having you do. And I'll catch you all whenever later is. Ciao.